ways to get away. Just make my mind and I'll arrange it. Beautiful girl, you're stainless. You'll be fine, I'll be painless.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of What in the Wealth podcast with me. I'm your host, Kiara Janae, and yes, we are officially on video. We are on YouTube now.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
I had to do it. I took a poll online. I want to thank everybody who voted. Y'all wanted to see this. Y'all wanted to see me talk. I don't know why. Well, I can think of a few reasons, but we're on YouTube now. So not only can you enjoy this podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, but we are now on YouTube. So you know what that means, right? Make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment on this video so that, you know, I can get some feedback from y'all, what y'all want to see, what y'all want to hear me talk about, and how we can really blow this channel up. Okay? Now, I'm so sorry. I got to start with an apology because I have been MIA. So I had put my first episode out like maybe 2 weeks ago, and the schedule is supposed to be every Sunday at 2 p.m. we drop a new episode. Well, yeah, that following Monday, me dropping my first episode, I got a stomach virus. Now, why? I don't know why I had to go and eat something crazy. But yes, I had a stomach virus. So it took me like a week to recover from that. I was really going through it. Then after I recovered, my grandmother got sick and I had to take care of her. So please excuse me. My apologies. I hope none of that ever happens again. But I'm back. And that's all that matters, right? And everybody's good. Everybody's healthy now. Amen. So on the first episode, it was kind of just an introduction to me and who I am and my background. And so you can get to know me. But this episode, we're going to dive right into what you came here for, which is financial literacy and wealth tips. And we all about to get money and we all about to live in the suburbs with the big mansion, and we about to be neighbors, and I'm about to bring you cookies and you going to bring me wine, and we can watch movies on the weekend. I know. All right. I'm going left with it. But this episode is called Get in Control and Know Your Worth. What makes this podcast different than any other platform that you might have watching financial literacy is I make sure that we talk about our mindset, our way of thinking. Because if you don't change that, like that gotta be the first thing to change. Because if you don't change that, what you really doing? Like what you really doing? You can't think small, you gotta think big.
Thinking small. We need to be thinking big.
First of all, I want you to change your relationship with money. Don't think of it, that's your ex now. We don't deal with our old ways of thinking about money. That's my ex. I don't even talk about them no more. I don't even think about them no more. But I got this new boo, wealthy mindset boo. You got to realize in order to step into your new found wealthiness, your new richness, you have to think rich. You got to think big. You got to think wealthy. And it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to do some things that you don't want to do. Some things are going to sound scary, and that's okay. It's okay for it to be scary because that's what change is about, it being a scary process. So just know that as we talk, as I go through these like informational steps, we have to think about our mindset at the same time. So what we're going to go over right now is the 5 key money steps to your wealth journey. Step number 1, get a handle on your finances. Like, duh. Our community, we like to say, get money. All right, fine. You got it. Now what you doing with it? Money sitting in your bank account is just like you being broke because, yeah, you have it. You're just holding on to it. You're literally doing nothing with it. And that has to change. You need to know your DTI, debt to income ratio. You need to know how much debt you have. Put it next to your salary. What is the difference? What is the percentage? Let's say you want to get a mortgage, a loan on a house. Each of those financial institutions look at your DTI. They look at it to determine how much of a risk that you are and to give you this money. The average mortgage financial institution is looking for 43% and less. That means when you do the math, your debt should not be more than 43% of your income. That is the max. So right now, if you did that calculation and your debt exceeds 43% of your income, you are in need of immediate change. That change can be increasing your income, reducing your debt. It could be making payment arrangements. You know what I found out? When I bought my house, I realized when they're counting your debt, your monthly debt, it is not the overall amount that you owe. It is the monthly payment, that the minimum monthly payment that you allow. So if you have a $2,000 credit card debt, but your minimum payment is $40, then your debt is $40. You understand what I'm saying? They're counting your monthly expenses. Make sure that at least you are under 43%. Another thing to get your finances under control is create a savings plan. I don't mean, hello? Hey, what's up, boo? You want to go out to dinner? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm saving money. I'm going to stay in the house tonight and have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But enjoy, though. That's not what I'm talking about. Come here. Saving money does not mean depriving yourself from living life. That is why it's called a plan. You strategically create a situation that is doable for you. So please, I want y'all to change your mindset. Don't think that when you saving money, you have to stop living life. Just plan accordingly. Now, I'll share my plan with you and how I did it. When I made the decision in my mind that I wanted to start a journey where I will eventually become wealthy from my moves today, I said, I'm going to have to start saving money. Now, everybody's job is different, but I'm telling you mine. I have what's called an allotment. Now, I log into my employer's website. I can go in and I can request that X amount of dollars come out of my paycheck before I even see it. So at the time, I took out $150 out of every paycheck. I said $150 will come out every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. That means every single paycheck. Every time I get paid, I'm paying myself back through saving. So $150 will come out. And guess what? I never missed it, because when I got my check, to be honest with you, I forgot. I really forgot almost all of the time that I did that. So when I get my check, I just took it as that's what I made. I made this amount. But really, it's minus $150. So that's number one. I feel like that's the most easiest way to do it. You just have to have self-discipline to not then go in the account that you are linking in the $150 to and take it back out. Because then you are only doing a disservice to yourself. You are only hurting yourself by doing that. You can't be what you want to be if you're going to go sneak behind your own back and mess up the plan that you created. So you have to commit to not go find that $150 and spend it. Now, of course, there's different levels of income that will allow people to save certain amounts of money. So do it according to what you can do. The general savings idea goes like this. Out of your 100% of your income, 50 of it should be designated for your bills. 30 of it should be for yourself to do whatever you want to do leisurely. And 20% of it goes to the savings. Kiara, I can't spend 30% on myself and 20% for the savings. Okay. Of course, adjust it to what you can do. Another way to look at it is, let's say you don't have that extra 30% just to give to yourself leisurely, at least the 20% for the savings, because your savings is for you and your future and your family's future. So just make sure, if nothing else, you do that. So if you can't do 50, 30, 20, then do 75, 25. Let the 75% be to what is necessary for you to, survive. And then at least take the 25% to yourself. If 25 still sounds like a lot, do 15, do whatever. But guess what? It's all better than zero. So do what you need to do to commit to starting somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And guess what? Eventually, you'll be like, I can increase the amount that I'm saving. Key number 2, maximize your retirement. Now, what does that mean? There are so many ways to look at retirement. If you have, the typical job, you have a pension or you have a 401k, which I realize like a lot of people don't really know what those break down to be. And comment below if you want me to discuss those in a separate episode. But I'm just going to quickly kind of run them down right now. Some retirement plans a pension. A pension is basically where your employers have a pool of money that they are willing to give to their employees for putting in their time for working for them. That is ideal. 401ks really benefit the employer, and I'll tell you how. Because 401ks require you to match their contribution. If it's not called 401k for some, like I know my job, it's not called 401k, it's called TSP, Thrift Savings Plan. So different employers might call it something else, but typically it's where they match the money that you put in. It's really just trickery because what they're doing is, as opposed to where it's a full-on pension where they have a pool of money that they give you. If you only choose to put in 1%, they only have to put in 1%. If you choose to put in 3%, then they'll put in 3%. But you're thinking that, oh yeah, they're giving my money. It's really a trick to get you to put in half of your money. That's what you're doing. You're putting in your own half of your money. And they only got to put in the other half. Yeah. So, like I said, 401k is good, but not really. I think that you should get a Roth IRA, which is another form of a retirement plan. A Roth IRA is a tax-free retirement plan. You use your already taxed money and put it into a retirement plan. So for instance, I have a Roth IRA, and which was my addition to my savings plan. So on top of the 150, I made another allotment within my employer's online service for $230. Now I know you're probably like, wow, that's a whole lot. It is. And I didn't want to do it. And I was listening to this other podcast on Spotify, and I heard, sorry, I don't remember who it was, but they basically said, if you are at least 30 years old right now and you max out your Roth IRA, which the max every year is $6,000. It might have went up to 65, I'm not sure, but you could check. But if you max out your Roth IRA every year, starting when you're 30, you will be a millionaire by the time you retire. I know retirement at 30 sounds like a really, really, really far time away, but put it this way. And I use this philosophy for a lot of things in life that take a long time. God willing, I will eventually be that age anyway. So why don't I just be a millionaire? If I'm going to be 65 anyway, God willing, I'm going to have to wait to get there. Why don't I be a millionaire? And I knew what to do that at 30. So I max out my Roth IRA every year at $6,000. Now you don't have to put in monthly increments. You could use your tax return and get a jump start. Let's say whatever you get, take part of that tax return and jumpstart your Roth IRA. So you can max it out for the end of the year, and we could be millionaires on yachts by the time we're 65.
Welcome.
It hurts now when we get old. If we stick to this plan, we don't have nothing to worry about. We can live comfortably and be secure and love our younger selves for looking out for our older selves. Key number 3, create an emergency fund. Yeah, we done put money into a savings plan. We done put money into a Roth IRA. Where am I get money for an emergency fund? We are the youngest we will ever be right now in this moment. I do all this work when we're older, when we could just do it when we're younger, when we're able to, when we're healthy, when we're vibrant, when we have all of our energy. Instead of being 65 talking about, dang, I got to get up and go to work because I didn't save when Kiara told me to when I was 30. Think of the bigger picture. Think of older you. Think how grateful you're going to be to yourself. Think how grateful your kids are going to be. Think of all of that. I know it's hard to just vision that when the club was lit tonight. How many times you gotta go pop bottles? How many times you gotta go buy designer outfits just for your friend to knock on your door and ask to borrow it and then never give it back?
Steve Madden, you thought they were Balenciaga, they not afford the look.
It's just not worth it. All of that other stuff is not worth it. This is really worth it. I hope you take my advice. I can't force you, but and guess what? I'm learning every day. Every day I'm reading something. Every day I'm listening to a podcast. Every day I'm watching a YouTube video. Like there's an unlimited amount of information that you can learn about bettering yourself and bettering your financial situation. I would say an emergency fund is a little more lenient, but not really, in the sense of you want to have a cushion, especially if you're a parent, especially if there's people in your lives that depend on you. My emergency fund was like $400 for a long time. Just $400. This is how you create a foolproof emergency fund. Calculate every extremely relevant, important expense. What is your monthly rent for the next 6 months to a year? Whatever is necessary for you to live day to day, add that expense up. So if you're a single person, I would say 3 months of a fund. If you have children, especially more than one, I would say at least a year's worth. Or 6 months is an easy medium for either situation. But just enough time that if something happened with that situation, the amount of money will buy you enough time to fix it. Key number 4, build a financial roadmap. Here's where the heavy lifting comes in for real. Get some quiet time on your day off. Take a bath, relax, light some candles, eat a great meal, have a glass of wine, whatever you need to do to pour into yourself, to get you in a relaxed state. Probably do a little meditation. Tap into yourself for real with no distractions and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want my future to look like? What do I want to have? What do I want my family to have? But think about all those things and don't just think and let it go. Once you really have secured that thought and say, okay, that is what I want. That is what I want to do. Write it down. Write it. By the way, this is my notebook that is now available on my Amazon storefront. So I will leave the link in the description for you to go ahead and purchase this notebook. Okay. But yes, write it down so that you can have a reference to what you were feeling or what you were thinking, just in case that thought leaves. Maybe you have a new thought later and you can reference back like, oh, wow, that's what I thought I wanted before, but this is what I know I want now. So I'll use an example. Maybe it's you want to own a home. Maybe it's you want to live in another country for 6 months, or you want to move to another country permanently. You could place these things anywhere in your life, whatever timeline you want to. The point is create a plan. Once you have a plan in front of you, it makes it more realistic. It seems more obtainable. Let's say I want to buy a house, right? Where do you want to buy this house? New York? Do you want to buy it in Florida, Texas? I want to buy a house in New York. Okay, cool. Research how much houses in New York cost. In the Bronx, they range from $500,000 to $1 million. Don't psych yourself out. Don't look at something that you want and be like, that house costs $1 million. Well, I don't have $1 million. First of all, didn't I just tell you we're going to have $1 million by the time we retire from the Roth IRA alone? So chill out. Do you have $1 million? You have $1 million. You have $1 million. Stop tripping, okay? This is how you stay on the path and you get what you want, because your words have power. Your thoughts have power. That is what manifestation is. You bring these things in your life because you believe it. You believe it. You have to believe yourself. Even if you can't see in front of you where it might come from, just know that it's coming. That is what is going to drive you, and that is what is going to make it happen. I'm telling you, I have my own experience with these things, and I'm talking from a place of experience. Okay, I told you in the first episode, I just bought my first multifamily home last year. When at the beginning of the year, I didn't even have money to buy me lunch. Like, come on, I'm telling you. Listen to Kiki, okay? All right, boom, back to the house, right? The house costs anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. Go on Zillow. Go look at the houses that you think you will want. Look at the area that you want. And then say, wow, this is the house I want. It costs $750,000. Okay, so start today. How would you obtain the money to get a $750,000 house? Now, I'm going to put my realtor hat on for this example. The down payment for a $750 house is 3.5% if you get an FHA loan. 3.5% of $750,000 is $26,250. Okay? So then you say to yourself, I give myself 2 years to save up this money in order to afford the house, right? So 2 years is 24 months, right? So we're going to do that number divided by 24, which means you need to save $1,093.75 every month for the next 2 years in order to have the down payment for the house. So that's in a month. So let's do every 2 weeks. $546 is how much you need to save out of every paycheck in order to get this house in 2 years. Now, I just broke it down in that simple form. Obviously, you will adjust that to how you get paid or how much money you get paid or what you could afford. But the goal is in 2 years, you need to save that $26,000 to afford the down payment for that house up in the. Now, of course, it won't be the same house. But the point is, you know the ballpark, how much that type of house will cost you. Because by the way, I'll put you on to something else. For the Roth IRA, and with a lot of savings plans that are meant for you to keep your money, like you can't just go into a retirement plan and take the money out. They will penalize you for it. Like they will charge you or give you like X amount of time to put it back or something like that. In the Roth IRA, there are certain exceptions. So first-time homeowner is one of the exceptions. I personally went and took a portion, not all of it, a portion of my down payment out of my Roth IRA with no penalty. You just tell them that I'm using it as my down payment on a house, and they will excuse your withdrawal without penalizing you. So that is an advantage. Now you see how this works. Now we're rolling into how the wealthy move. There's exceptions on money to make more money. The bank is all for you investing your money. That'll be an asset. Just know that when you take the money out, now you're starting your $1 million plan all over because you took the money out. And key number 5, have a wealthy mindset. I'm going to keep reiterating this mindset because the mind is a powerful thing. Your thoughts can change your life. Being a realtor had opened the door for me to step in new spaces and have new conversations that I wouldn't have had anywhere else. On the daily, talk about home ownership and real estate and sit down and talk with bankers about numbers and how loopholes and how to get through things and keep your money and down payment assistance, and you could get grants for, like, it was just blowing my mind. So I also want to say, keep yourself educated, be around people, be around like-minded people who spread positivity, people who encourage growth. Me changing my mindset and thinking like this, I saw who like my real friends were, and if they hating, you gotta cut them loose because they're what will keep you back. When I would start talking about this and they would get mad, I would start to feel guilty inside, like maybe I should stop talking about that stuff because it makes people feel uncomfortable. And then I had an epiphany, like from doing my affirmations, and I'm like, why am I dimming my light because y'all can't handle it? I feel like this is me growing. This is me graduating out of the hood mindset.
Welcome to the hood.
and really growing into my full potential. And had I not kept doing the work and trying to find out my footing in this game, and I would have kept that mindset like, oh, I should be quiet, I probably would still be chilling with those people being quiet and not telling you, everyone here today, how to do, how to get wealthy and how to have financial literacy. I would have never been sharing this message with you because I thought I had to keep quiet because it made people uncomfortable. So I'm just grateful to have gotten out of that mindset. But for everybody here wanting a change, wanting to see a change in their finances, wanting to have more financial freedom, more financial stability, don't think about what anybody else is going to say. Matter of fact, don't even tell them what you're doing. I'm the one telling you, we right here, I'm telling you, you take this information, you put it in your pocket. If you want to share with a loved one, if you want to tell them to watch this video and subscribe and like and comment, you can tell them to do that. If you want to tell them to go on Spotify and follow my podcast or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, you can do that. Don't tell nobody what you're doing, because then you're going to get too in your head about what they're thinking and what they're saying, and people will probably want to wish bad on you. Don't do that. Let's start with this. You don't work for money. You ain't know that? You do not work for money. Money works for you. Everything I just told you, that's money working for you. You took the money and you put it somewhere, and it has a purpose. This money is going to get me my house. This money is going to pay my light bill. This money, your money has a purpose. It is working for you. Later on in the series, we're going to talk about putting our money into high interest savings. That money is going to work even more. Putting your money into stocks, your money is going to work for you again. Money is working for you to make more money. That's what it always should be doing. As you start saving, as you start budgeting, as you start being more conscious about where your finances, where your money is going and what your finances are doing, don't skimp out on life. This is not a sign to dial back and stay in the house and only eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and not go to the party and not. Now, granted, you might want to dial, if you're a person who's doing that 24/7, you might want to dial back, but don't stop living life. You will actually find that it's not as hard as you thought it was, because after saving and putting this money in everywhere and speaking that I no matter what I saw go out of my bank account, I will always have enough. I have more than enough. I have abundance. I'm already rich. I'm already wealthy. I know these things. When I saw the money go, when I didn't want to put that $230 into the Roth IRA, I was like, it's cool. That's gonna come back to me. $230. What I would have did with that? I would have went to the club, bought a bottle, drank it, got drunk, and that would have been the end of that story. And I would have had nothing to show for it but a headache. But now I put the $230 into something else. That $230 did not leave me. I didn't drink it. I didn't throw it up on the sidewalk. It is still right there, and I'm gonna meet it in another 40 years. It's gonna be right there waiting for me with some more friends. This is the beginning of a new life. The power is within you. The power is with you to change, to be intentional, to live the life that you want to live, because you said so. Because this is what I'm going to do. Because I know what I want. I am in control of my life. I'm in control of my money. I'm in control of everything from here on out. And guess what? I'm going to be the greatest me ever. And I'm going to be financially free and financially abundant. And on that note, I want to thank everybody for joining me. Like this, I'm so excited. I just want to sit here and talk to y'all all day. I really love helping like my people really understand what we could really do out here. Like what we could really do if we really put our mind to. We just need somebody to tell us. And I'm here. That's a wrap for today. Thank you for joining me on What in the Wealth podcast. I'm your girl, Kiara Janae, and I'll see you later. Bye.